morning guys, it's Linda. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia, and I just wanted to show you something really quick and easy today. I wanted to show you how to get chalkboard effects on your cards. Chalkboard stamping is actually really simple and a lot of fun, and it really does give you the illusion of a chalkboard look. So I wanted to take you through that really quickly. The first step in actually creating a chalkboard look actually happens before you start stamping at all, and that's in your choice of stamps. So if obviously you can do this with any stamp. However, if you really want to give the chalkboard look that's all the rage at the moment, you do best if you're choosing stamps that have different fonts and different sizes, okay, because these ones are going to really create that chalkboard look, one you see out the front of your favorite cafe. So here's a few that will work really well for you. At the moment we have the Merry Medley stamp set. It's a background stamp, a great big one, and that's the one I've used for the whole background here on this card. It is lots of different fonts all mixed together, lots of different sizes, so this one is a really easy one to use for this technique. Another one that's currently available is the Wonderful Year stamp set. Both this one and the Merry Medley one I just showed you are actually discontinuing on the 3rd of January 2017. So there's only a couple more weeks that these have left to go. But this one I really like because you can see, you know, is in one font and small, and most is different font and larger. Wonderful is like a script font, and then each word just about is different. You've got these little flourishes as well, so this works really well for a chalkboard look, as does the one below, but I really like this one probably the best. Another one that might work, not discontinuing anytime soon that we know of, this one is in our annual catalogue from Stampin' Up, and once again it's a big background stamp. It's a thank you one with a thank you in lots of different languages, so you've got your different fonts, you've got your different sizes. It is mostly the same font, but it still works really well because of the way they've arranged them. So experiment and look. I mean, this wasn't one I was going to show you, but even this Naughty or Nice, 2 different fonts once again, so you could even get away with something small for your chalkboard look as well. So I've actually gone ahead and you will need to heat emboss for this technique to get the real effect that you want. I've actually stamped my greeting in a pigment ink on basic black. You will need to use basic black for your chalkboard background, and I've actually stamped it in Versamark and then heat embossed it with white embossing powder. You could use any pigment ink for this. It doesn't have to be Versamark. So we've just stamped it, and then I've cut my image out with a little bit of room around. So easy. All you need is a clean sponge and some Whisper White pigment ink, or craft ink as it's known. You just want to go into it once with your sponge, so just picking up a little bit of ink, not much at all, and either on a scrap or even on the back of the piece that you're going to use, you're going to remove a bit of that, so that when you apply it, you're not getting a big blob of white. The blob of white has come off when I first started to rub. Now my sponge is ready to use, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over the top of my basic black cardstock, and I'm going to rub it one way, and then I'm going to rub it another way. Now this one is not much coming off in that anymore, so I'm going to turn it back over, back into my ink. Make sure that I get rid of the blobby bits on the top, and do this again. Go one way. So the look that we're trying to create is like a chalkboard that's been dusted over. As we know, chalkboards get that kind of dusty look, and you want that in the background. And I go one way and then another, as if I was actually using a real duster. Use a bit more white again. It doesn't have to be uniform. In fact, it's better if it's not. So I want it to look like it's been more dusty in some places than others, and that's what gives you the real look of chalkboard. Your white embossing first, and then your dusty look in the background with a little bit of white ink on a sponge. But just make sure you get rid of the really wet stuff at the start, and you just want it to look like it's been dusted over. So experiment on a spare piece or the back of your piece before you actually go on the front. I'll do it one more time so you can see it. See how it's real blobby to start? So I want to get rid of all that blobbiness. I went a little bit harder in my white then. so I've got to get rid of a bit more. That's all right, now it's going good. Right, so one way and then the other. Go back the other way. So we want it to look like it's being dusted over. And you get that real dusty look. That one's a little bit more so. It's completely up to you how much of this you apply. The ones that I've made here, you can see a little bit of dustiness over the back there. So it's very similar. And this one I've done the same, but you see less of it because there's more of the writing. So I hope that's a quick tip for today. I hope it's been fun and that you've learned something new. Thanks guys. Have a play with it, and I'd love to see what you do. Bye.